Hi. Hi. No. Is it working now? Sorry. Let me just fix all this echo. Okay, I think I'm going.
Hi. Hi. Please let me know if it's working now. I'm not really sure yet. Is there still an echo? Okay, please let me know if you can hear me, and if you can, we can start. Yeah, okay, let me just, okay, this is gonna be like super awkward because the screen is over there, the camera is here, there's a camera there, so I think while people are coming in, hi everyone, thank you for joining. This is the first time I'm doing something like this. I thought it would be really fun if we could occasionally cook together. For those who don't know, A, my name is Omar, and B, I really, really love to cook. And I thought it would be fun if we can occasionally do recipes together. Cooking live is nerve-wracking, and I tried setting everything up. I hope everything is okay. We'll see. I want to remind everyone that all the revenue from this channel goes towards the comeback. So please make sure your ad block is turned off. And if there's an ad, skip it after 30, 40 seconds. And thank you for supporting this channel and the comeback and everything. What we're making today is hotteok. I think anyone who's seen a BTS for long enough have seen them eat it and know how much they love it. It's really, really delicious. I had a few in Korea, and I'm not a real big fan of sweets, but since it's just so, it's so good. I had to first try it, but I really, really liked it. And so I had to learn how to make it, and that's why we're here. Since this recipe has yeast in it, which I know a lot of people can be afraid of using, especially if you're just starting to get into cooking. So this is a really good entry-level recipe for learning how to use yeast. And it's also, there's only 2 cameras. There's no third camera. Okay, hold on. One of them skipped. Hold on, let me fix it. Sorry. There, it should be better now. So this is a really good entry-level recipe. It's very easy, and since we have to let the dough rise for a little bit, it will also give us a perfect chance to talk about proof and everything we got coming and all that. So yeah, so I hope you're excited. I have all my ingredients measured out, but in case some of you forgot, you can find it on the Twitter. I didn't put it on the I didn't put it on the YouTube channel, but I will edit later. So if you forgot something or you want to check this out later, I'll put the full recipe as well as the ingredient list in the description box. So you'll have it all. It's a very easy recipe. So let's start. The ingredients you need some flour, brown sugar, white sugar, oil, and yeast for the dough, as well as water. And you need, for the filling, we need brown sugar, cinnamon, and whatever kinds of nuts you like. They can be pecans, they can be almonds, they can be whatever you want. I did forget to measure out the water, so just give me a second and I will. When using the yeast, it's important to use lukewarm water. You don't want it too hot because then you will kill the yeast. You don't want it too cold because then the yeast won't activate properly. So lukewarm, around body temperature, it should be fine. So I know there's a lot of water noise now. I'm waiting for it to heat up a bit, and then I'll be able to get some water. Hold on, we're almost there. Okay, so I got water, and let me get my yeast. I keep my yeast in the freezer because it's fresh. It's active dry yeast, and when we get it, the bag has a lot of it, so I always keep it in the freezer. And okay, let's get started. The thing about active dry yeast is that it has this casing around it, so you really want to activate it. And so first you have to add water to the yeast to melt off that casing. So we're going to put our lukewarm water in a bowl over here so you can see it in the camera. So first we're going to add our lukewarm water, and then we're going to add our yeast. Okay, add a little bit more. Now, I haven't done this in a while, so I actually hope this works. Another thing about yeast is that, like I said, we want to activate it. So we usually add sugar in order to do that. By adding a little bit of sugar, then the yeast works by it's a bacteria that eats the sugar, and then it puts out gas, and then that gas gets trapped in the gluten of the dough, and that way the dough rises. So by adding sugar to these, we can activate it and make it start bubbling and working. So we're going to add the sugar into the dough and mix it a bit. And now we're going to let it rest for about 5 minutes. We should see the mixture start to bubble or foam, and that means that the yeasts are working, that they're active, and that you can start the recipe properly with the good working yeast. Sometimes yeast that sits too long, it dies, and then if you don't do this step, then you might not find out until you finish the recipe and the dough won't rise. So it's very important to do it in the beginning, because that way you can find right from the beginning if it's all working properly. So we're going to let it wait for 5 minutes. Like I said, I'll have the measurements later in the description box, and you'll all be able to find it and do it later if you want. So yeah, so we got about 5 minutes since I've already measured out everything else. Hotteok is very commonly used with there's a savory and a sweet version. The sweet is very often with sugar, nuts, cinnamon, sesame. That's the most common that you can find. And the savory, there's cheese with honey, there's with vegetables and glass noodles, and they're all delicious. This dough is really easy to make. It's really fulfilling. It's very soft and fluffy. There's also when I first came to Korea, when I just got there, the first day, I went on this visit of the big important sites as well as one of the markets. And in that market, I had my first hotteok, and it was almost mochi-like, which is not something I've had a lot of hotteok after it, and none of them were like that first one. That first one had a bit of a chewy texture, which this one won't. This one is more fluffy bread type, and the more common type from what I've seen. But I really want to try maybe one time adding a little bit of glutinous rice flour to it and see if we can get that mochi-like texture. So yeah, so still waiting for it to a bit to do something. It is a little bit cool here, so this might take a little bit longer, and I haven't made it in ages, so I hope it comes out all right. I see we have 37 people watching. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully this works. It's been a while. This took a little bit of setting up. I haven't filmed in this kitchen ever. So it's also interesting to see if this setup works properly and if it's fun to do. In the future, I'm going to have an island here in the kitchen, and that will make it really easy to do these kind of videos. So it'll be really fun. If any of you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the chat. I do glance at it to see if it is, just that it's right over here. So it's a bit hard it's not like directly in front of me. All I have is the camera in front of me. I think it's kind of hard to see, but there are a little bit of bubbling going on. Hi, Sophia. We're not really waiting for anything. We're waiting for the yeast to start activating. We added the warm water and sugar to it, so it can start to put out gas, and to make sure that the yeast are working, that they are alive. I don't know if you can see it on camera. I'll try and show it more closely. You can see a little bit of bubbling starting, and I think we're okay to continue. Again, this point is just to start the yeast activation process. You're not searching for anything too big with it. Yes. Okay. You have the water, yeast, and sugar in a bowl. Excellent. The white sugar, right, for the dough. So you just mix it a bit and let it sit for about 5 minutes. You should start to see a little bit of bubbling, a bit of change in the surface. If you let it sit for like 10-15 minutes, you'll see a lot of foam, a lot of air. We don't need that. We just let it sit for 5 minutes just to see if there is change on top. Maybe 10 if you're somewhere a bit colder and you want to make sure that everything is working, but you should start to see a bit of change at the top of it. So yeah, so if you see it, you can keep going with everything. Excellent. So we can continue. I see that yours is working. Have I ever tried Indian food? I have. I really, really like it. I do have I don't like all Indian food. I think that's true for every kind of cuisine. But yeah, there's definitely some Indian food I really, really like. Okay, so let's start. So to this, we're gonna add the oil. I think it's half a tablespoon of oil, and we're gonna add the flour. It's 1 cup of flour. I already sifted mine. It's better to sift. You don't have to, but it's better to do so. In this recipe, you don't have to. If you know your flour is fresh and all, it's not a must, but it's better. It's much easier to mix, and you make sure there aren't any bugs in your flour, which is important. So we're gonna put out all the flour, and we're gonna add a touch of salt to it. Now we don't want to put the salt directly on the yeast because that might slow down their activation. So I'm adding it to the flour, and that is going to incorporate. And now we mix. Now this dough is very, very sticky and very, very hard to work with a bit if you don't know what to expect from it. There are 2 ways to make dough that with yeast or a starter. There's 2 variations. Because what happens? You have the yeast, you add the sugar, the yeast puts out gas, and then that gas gets trapped in the gluten folds of your dough, the gluten strains of your dough. And that means that you need to form gluten in order for the dough to expand. So the way to do that, there are 2 ways. You either add everything and then you massage the dough and knead the dough. And that way you develop the gluten. And that's a very common way to develop gluten when you're making pasta, fresh pasta. But in this case, as well as when you make sourdough bread, you just mix it with water and it becomes this really runny, sticky dough. I think mine needs a little bit more flour, but it should be very sticky. I think I added a bit too much water, so I'm going to add a little bit of flour to it. But it should be very, very sticky. And when you have flour and water, you let it rest, it develops gluten. That's why when you make pancakes, they always tell you not to overmix it because you'll start developing that gluten. So yeah, I'm just going to add a bit mine because I added a bit of extra water to mine by accident. That's what happens when you measure stuff on screen instead of beforehand. So yeah, this is much better. This is how it should be. So you just want to incorporate all the flour that you have. And as you can see, the dough is very sticky. It's not going to be something that you can knead because it will just stick to everything. So just make sure you don't have any fresh, untouched flour, I guess. So just make sure it's all mixed. As you can see here, we have it. It's all mixed. It's very, very gloopy, very sticky, but that's how it should be. So we're gonna take everything off the spoon, and we're gonna let it sit for about 30 minutes. Wash your hands, and you can use a clean foil or a towel. This won't rise down. It shouldn't rise too much. Like it will at least double in size, and you can cover it with a towel and let it rest. And that's what we're doing now. Okay. So yeah, so we did that part. The dough is resting and it will expand. And now we need to work on the filling. So for the filling, I'll put this aside. For the filling, I have brown sugar, I have cinnamon, and I have almonds. And I want to toast these almonds a bit. It will make them a bit more crunchy, make sure they don't have any extra moisture in them, and also give it a bit more nutty flavor. So I'm going to remove this camera here. Let's see if it works. If you can see the pan. I hope you can. I'm gonna wait for the Zoom camera to catch it to see if it works. And yeah, and we're just gonna toast these a bit just to get them a bit more color, really try and dry them out, get more flavor. So okay, so I see it's almost working. It's actually pretty good. I think this way is actually pretty good. So yeah, so I heat up my pan, and I'm just gonna add a few. These are actually really good to snack on, so I don't mind making extra. I'll actually add and do extra. Whoops, sorry. Yeah, and we're just gonna let it get some color on all sides. And I don't know about you, but I'm getting really thirsty and I really want to talk about proofs, and I think now is kind of the perfect time to do it. Basically, what we're going to do now is prepare the filling. We have 30 minutes. The filling can be whatever you want. Like I said, you can make it, if you want to do it with cheese, then just put cheese instead of what we're doing now. If you don't like nuts, you don't have to add them. You can just stick to sugar and cinnamon. If you don't like cinnamon, you can not have cinnamon. This is really for you to do whatever you want with. You have the dough recipe, and now you can add whatever filling you want. So it's really fun. So I chose, like I said, nuts, cinnamon, and sugar. And basically, I'm just going to toast the nuts a bit and add them all together. If you like it, if you just want to have nuts, you can. It's very, like, you can do whatever you want as filling. So the percentages, the amounts, it all goes according to what you like. So yeah, so it's really, you can just do whatever you want. I'm gonna get myself a drink, and then we can talk about proof. I know you're all excited. I know everyone is hyped for what's coming, for what we have, for what the hell is Big Hit doing with that BTS track thing. So let's get a drink ready. I think now it's kind of afternoon here, and it's summer, and it's kind of a perfect time to make something a bit more fun. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna make some. I'm gonna make this really fun drink. I think. Do you want to see me make the drink, or do you want to see me toast the other ones? I think the watching it toast is not as fun. So while they're toasting, I'm going to do this. Hold on. Let's see. Can you see it? Yes, you can. Okay, excellent. So I'm going to make a little drink, and then we can talk. Got a little salt cream. Well, all my ash turns into one solid mess. Like, I bought ice just for this. I like to, I don't really like alcohol that much. I don't drink a lot of wine. I don't drink a lot of beer, especially not recently with trying to have a little bit of other projects. Those who follow me on Twitter know what they are. But now that I have a month before starting the whole process all over again and not being able to drink, I really want to drink a bit before it. So. Yeah. So we got some French mint here. That's enough for now. We got a little bit of rum. Just a little, we don't need a lot. Yeah, but Paula, thanks for the ice tea. It all froze into one piece. Like I bought them separately, but somehow they all froze into one piece. And a bit of Coke, Sprite Zero. And a bit of lime. This is so weird. I'm looking this way, but working that way. This is the most awkward thing I've ever done. Sorry. The almonds are toasted. You can see it here. So we're gonna take it off the fire and let it rest for a bit and cool down. And our drinks are ready, and we can talk about proof and what you all think. Let's see if it works. Okay, perfect. Okay, so let's put these aside. Let's talk about what we're actually all here for. So first we had the entire tracklist come out. And what is the song you're most looking forward to? Let me know here, let me know in the comments, let me know in the chat. What's the song you're most looking forward to? I think honestly, it's for me, the demos and Born Singer. I don't know, choosing from them, it would be impossible. But if we're talking about a song that came out, it's Born Singer. I'm most looking forward to it. I love that the second album is exactly what we talked about. It's the members choosing their favorite solo song and their favorite and another favorite song. I love that. I really Love Yourself. I really wanted Thank to be there as well. I promise you, I really did. I wanted to finally have it shout on Spotify, but I'm glad at least we got Born Singer. And it's going to be, I don't know if they're going to update the lyrics, that for sure remaster it. It'll be interesting to see how they'll go about it. I'm really excited. I love the idea that the members got to choose which is their favorite song, which is their favorite solo song. I think it's really a smart way to go about it, to go about the anthology, because that's exactly what it should be. This should be a list of songs curated by BTS. I love that Dimple is there. I love that Hair is there. I love the Cypher 3. That I don't know. They're also that 0 O'Clock, right? 0 O'Clock made it there. I'm not confused, right? Because I really wanted 0 O'Clock to be there. Tony Montana, we finally get a full, actual version of Tony Montana. Like, how amazing is that? Right, Antonella, right? It's gonna be so, I'm so happy. It's great that it's amazing that you're getting a pre-order in Argentina as well. Wow, we sold out 5 times in Argentina in the last 5 days. That's amazing. It's just such a great album, and we finally get to see some of the demos. We're going to see Taste Spring Day. We're going to see and we're also getting a few new songs. Not just the set. There are going to be 3 new songs on this album, but we're getting 2 extra ones that we don't know what they are. That's right. There's Ambiguous Love and there's the question mark. So I really wonder what those are going to be all about. It's going to be so interesting to see. I can't wait. It's going to be fascinating to see how they go about it, what they're going to do. Like, I think I know that a lot of people were a bit disappointed that the third track list was CD only. But I think the reason for it makes perfect sense, because these are demos. It's not a full song. It's not a finished song, right? This song didn't make it through the entire editing process. They didn't sit down. They decided that this wasn't what they wanted to put out there. And so for them to decide that these songs are the ones that they want to show people, those versions, those unfinished versions, it takes a lot of trust. And so they're saying, if you want to hear them, then you have to be a fan, and fans are the ones that buy the album, right? It's not that if you don't buy, you're not a fan. It's not that. But if you did choose to buy, that means you're a fan, right? Aunties won't buy the album. If they do, that's a whole other thing. They won't buy it. They definitely won't listen to it, at least. They might buy it to break it, but they won't listen to it. So they're saying, if you're listening to this, then you are for sure a fan. And I think it's just a lot of vulnerability in sharing something so unfinished. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm sure that even those who won't buy, be able to find versions that people will upload, and you'll still be able to see and listen. So it's not that much of an issue. And it's also on the compact version, which is half the price. So I think, I understand why they did it, and I get why it might feel upsetting to some. But yeah, let's see what people wrote. Paul said, we also have the pre-order in Colombia, and despite all the restock, it's always sold out. I see that. Shanali said, so I have questions. Are the existing songs on the anthology, are they the originals or the remastered or concert remixes? I'm assuming they're the original. That they're the original version. I don't know. I think if it was a remix, it would say remix, just like in the third track list, it says demo. So I think if it was a remix, it will say it. So yeah, so I think it's the same. I don't think it will be any different. Antonella said, the last time I used my CD player was like 10 years ago, and I was 15, 16. Then Spotify came and I forgot about it. Thank God it still works. I think the last time I used the CD was in 2005. Yeah, 2005. And it stopped working they always say they have shock absorbent, and they never really do. And you would have this clip to put it on your jeans in the pocket, like to clip it on the pocket. And every time you would walk, it would bounce. So it was really bad. And I really quickly changed it to MP3. You had these MP3 USB drives that were like this big, and you were able to download songs and put them on it. And yes, I had what was it, Napster, and then Emule and Kaza and Kaza Lite, and all those versions that people older than, or like still around, like still who were around in this 2000 would know, early 2000 would know. So yeah, so I just downloaded songs and I put it on my MP3 player as quickly as I could. I left the CD behind me as quickly as I could. Burning stuff to it was awful. It was good for the car, but not for much else. But I just bought a new Blu-ray DVD player, which obviously also has a CD. Like you can also put CDs on it. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I bought it saying, Stephanie, I bought it so I could watch like my winter package and the concert DVDs. I'm really happy that now they also giving a digital option, because come on, it's been a long time coming. I know the quality is better, but come on. Like I would buy the DVD, but then watch Hotteok or Minte's version. So yeah, so that's the track list. There's also the BTS track that's coming out now. It's so confusing. I wonder what they're gonna do with it. I wonder what it's for. If it's for muster, is it for like what is it for? Every time they ask us to list songs and then they ignore it. If they would have listened to what we say, Paradise and Louder Than Bombs would have already been in concerts. So yeah, it seems like it's for master, but who knows? Maybe it's for the next anthology album or something. Yeah, the Instagram. Yeah, sure. I was talking about the Instagram post. It's so weird. I do still believe. Don't you think it's really odd? There's not a single "We Are Bulletproof" on this album. There's not "We Are Bulletproof" Part 1. There's no "We Are Bulletproof" Part 2. There's no "We Are Bulletproof" The Eternal. And the album is called Proof. It's so weird. I was sure at least one of them would make it in. Yeah. Yeah, they never do stuff for nothing. So it's really odd. Like I don't know what's coming. We'll see. It sounds us. Yeah, so I think I don't know, maybe we're getting a new album and it has a bulletproof something in it. Bullet, I don't know. No, I'm out on that one. I don't have any cone theory. I just said I think there's gonna be another album at some point. But who knows? So yeah, so I think if I remember correctly, the next thing we have on the map is what was it? It was it's the proof of inspiration, right? I think it's proof of inspiration. I wonder what it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be the members talking about what made them choose those songs, why they chose to put out an anthology album, what is behind the entire album. That's the that's the feeling I'm getting about proof of inspiration. I think it will be like a discussion with each of the members about why, how, what was chosen. I think it's kind of like they did with the bee, where they talked about the making process and what was it like and all that. I think it's going to be something similar. So it's like it's really interesting to see it. I think it's this Tuesday, if I remember correctly. I think it's this Tuesday. Yeah, so it'll be fun. Let's look at our dough. Still very sticky, obviously. It didn't rise as much as I thought it would, gotta say. This might not work the best. I don't know. I hope your yeast is better. I think maybe because they're from the freezer, they might be a bit too cold and need a little bit more time. So yeah, interesting to see. I think it's getting a bit. It is also the yeast were cold and the actual the weather is a bit cold, so this might take a little longer. I hope it works. If not, we'll do it again. The recipe itself works for sure. I've done that a few times. So the recipe is good. My yeast might be bad. Maria, oh, I forgot to say that. Oh no, I forgot I was supposed to try the keto hotteok version. I'm actually in keto right now, so I'm making this for you. I'm actually planning to give it to my neighbor, so I hope it works well. If not, I'll give her something else and just bring these to work. Like they can't be bad. They might not fluff up properly, but bad they won't be. So I'm not that worried. But yeah, also once they heat it, the heat eats it. It usually fluffs up properly, but you know, we'll see. Carl said, Omar, can you explain a little what's the new thing with PayPal? Because I used to send donations, but now I'm not sure. What should I do, please? Yeah, so there's something new with PayPal. They kind of changed how you send money, and you have to say it's for friends, if I'm not mistaken, that you're sending as if you know the person that you're sending it to, that it's a friend or family and not someone else. I think if you look at the what they're called, it's funds for US armies, they have an explanation how to send them PayPal money. So they say like which option is best to choose. By the way, thank you for your work. Love you. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, I'm kind of nervous. I have a feeling this might not work that well, but we'll see. It's also, this makes for 4 Hotteok. So because it's such a small volume, and it might not seem like it's working, but it actually is. So, but yeah, it usually gets really fluffy. I don't know why it's not doing it now. Kind of worried, but we'll make it work. We'll see. It's fun. Yeah, friends and family don't pay taxes. That's the thing. It used to be that you would just send the money, but now you have to choose options. And yeah, I haven't done it in a while. So we'll see. Yeah, if this doesn't work, the Hotteok doesn't work, we're doing this again next week, just so you know. We have to make it work. It's not, I won't have you here with not fluffy Hotteok. Yeah. So we'll see. It's technically now we're supposed to start going to the next phase. No, it's not. Hi. No, it's not my first time. I've actually done this multiple times. It usually works great. It really fluffs up nicely, and the dough works really good. But sometimes working with yeast, the weather really affects it. So sometimes it works a bit less, so it needs more time. It's not that big a deal. Once you fry it, it's dough. It's gonna be it's dough and sugar. It's gonna be delicious no matter what. So I'm not too worried, but I do hope it comes out well. Stefan said, I think that it's so sad that because of the billboard, U.S. Army can't get the further benefits from waivers. Yeah, it sucks. It's really annoying. And I feel for them. But I'm really glad that they're not buying from Weavers and that they're choosing. They can buy from I think they can buy from the Weavers US shop. No, like I don't want to say something that I'm not sure of. So, yeah. So I'm not sure. I think they can buy from the Weavers US shop. That's the whole point of the Weavers US shop. It's to apply for the billboard, but I might be mistaken. And please follow what the fan bases say. Always go with your country's fan base because each country has it different. For example, if you're from the US, you need to buy each track separately if you want to make maximum impact on the charts. But if you're from the UK, you need to buy the title track and then the album. Each country has its own rules. So please make sure you follow what your country's fan base has to say. The US shop. The US shop doesn't have the gift. Well, to be fair, that gift is usually just something they have lying around and they just add it. Like those gifts, they're great, but they're not like it's usually like this extra poster or something. So yeah, it's a gift. It's fun, but it's not that impactful. But like you get a keychain or I don't know, something really nice. You get there's something in the headline around, basically. Okay, let's see. It did rise. It didn't rise a lot, but it did rise. So it's all good. I think we're gonna get an extra 10 minutes. Yeah, an extra 10 minutes. And then we'll start. Or maybe, yeah, let's give it an extra 10 minutes, right? We're in no rush. If you're making it with me and yours didn't rise, then you can also already, a lot of the extra 10 minutes will work good for you as well. So don't worry about it. Yeah, or photo card. So it's nice, it's fun, but it's not, it's like, it's fun. But I don't think it's good enough reason not to buy from Weavers or to buy from a Weaver's shop that's not applicable to your country. As far as I know, for the UK, because of the photo cards, the album won't count as digital albums. Really? That's odd. Love yourself. Say, hey, Omar, can you make any vegetarian Korean dish next time? This is vegetarian, so unless you consider yeast an animal. This recipe is vegetarian, but sure, you can make. There are a lot of vegetarian Korean recipes. You can make japchae. You can do. They have a dish with tofu and an egg in it. That's really good, like tofu stew, and you add an egg to it. So yeah, so also this, like the hotteok, you can make with vegetables inside and glass noodles, and that's really good. If you're looking for a lot of Korean recipe, there's this really big Korean YouTuber that has like these amazing recipes. I'll add her link also in the description if you guys want. I think it's Manji. She's really good. I bought the set as well, Paula. I like having sets, so if I can, I buy the set. I bought it, but and you'll see it in the podcast example. Jalen Sam, me too. I'm not paying international shipping for the postcard though. It'll come in a book later. Yeah. Yeah, that shipping, that shipping is the Weaver's shipping is a lot. Yeah, Monty, she's great. She has excellent recipes. I use her recipes all the time. Actually, that she has these twisted donuts, which I also had in Korea, and they're really, really good. And I think I will try and make them. I've always wanted to make them. They're like really crispy on the outside, really fluffy, and they feel very light. So I think I'll make it as well. Um, if you make this recipe like twice the amount, so you get like 8 hotteok. From this one, you get 4. But if you do like the full 8, then I would suggest heating up your oven like to a low temperature, maybe 100 degrees Celsius or something. And then whenever you finish one, put it in the oven on a pan. And that way they'll stay warm until you can put it out for guests or whatever you're making it for. Yeah, so that I think we're ready to mix this a bit. So let me just move stuff out of the way. So you can see there are air bubbles here. It did rise up a bit. It's such a small quantity there. It's very hard to see whether it actually rose or not. So yeah, so what we're doing now, what did I do with my, my spoon is over there. Okay. So yeah, I think you can see it, right? I'll wait to make sure that everyone can see it. Yeah, love yourself. There is, I saw on Twitter, I hope you follow Bangtan India, or I think that's what they're called. They're definitely, yeah, I think they're called Bangtan India. They were talking about maybe doing some massive sale of albums, and they did contact someone. So you should follow them and see what they have to say. So yeah. So, yeah, so you can see the dough. It's very hard to see from this angle, but there are some bubbles here. It did rise, so the yeast does work. Again, this is a very, very sticky dough, very sticky, and that's how it should be. So don't be worried. The whole point of this dough, it's very easy to make. You don't need to knead anything. So it's just easy. It's like there are no major issues here. So you don't need to knead it. Doesn't need to work hard to give it shape. So what we're doing now is we're mixing this. Yeah, you can see the bubbles, you can see it rose, you can see the gluten. If you look, you can see the gluten strands in the dough. So now what we're just gonna mix it for a bit to get all the air out. And it's very important to get the air out the first time you let it rise, because that way, when it rises again, it distributes the air all around and not just in certain areas. Yeah, so we're just gonna mix it a bit, and then we're gonna let it rise again for an additional 10 minutes. Okay, so it's not that much of a big deal. That would be this. I'm gonna put this here. Yeah. So we are gonna cover it again and put it aside for an additional 10 minutes. Just gonna wash my finger. And yeah, and while we are doing that, let's make our filling. Paul says, the second time I made a hotteok, I used too much cheese and I had to put more flour. So I ended up making like 30 hotteoks when I was planning to make just a dozen. Yeah. So yeah, so let's do. Actually, this recipe it's basically Monty's recipe. I just changed a bit of the quantities, and again, you can make it however you want. So there, like, you want more, you want less nuts, you don't want any nuts, you want to add sesame, you don't like cinnamon. You just do whatever works for you. You can also do this with Nutella or any kind of paste you want. If you want to do Nutella hotteok, then what you need to do is you take spoonfuls of Nutella and freeze them, and then put the dough around them. And then when you cook, you'll get cook it on a bit of a lower temperature so the Nutella can melt while you cook. And that way you'll have Nutella hotteok. So you can really do this however you want. Yeah, so let's do the filling. Like I said, I'm gonna do brown sugar, almonds, and cinnamon. And so let's put brown sugar in. Let's add the cinnamon. The amounts, I posted them on Twitter, but you can do how little or how much you want. So I'm just gonna make sure that it smells the way it should. And we're gonna add the almonds here. Sorry. I think I added too much almonds, but that's okay. I like the crunch they give. And also, a lot of sugar goes a long way. And I think it's very smart to add a little bit of salt to this, because when you add salt to sweet things, it makes you feel the sweetness better. So just adding a little bit of salt. And yeah, I think for these percentages, I might actually add a little bit more. See, and I grab a spoon. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add a little bit more brown sugar to this because I added too much nuts. Yeah, this is it. Okay. Let's see. I saw a YouTuber trying to make them with dulce de leche. Yeah, you can really fill it with whatever you want. I do suggest that if you're gonna do it, this is something that's sweet, that's a bit more runny, not sweet, something that's a bit more runny, like jams or dulce de leche or Nutella or any of those types of fillings. Maybe even then I would suggest maybe even red bean paste. I would just freeze like the portions and then put it in the filling. It'll be much easier to do it that way. So I highly recommend. Nutella hotteoks are amazing, but yeah, put a spoonful on a baking sheet, freeze them, and then put the dough around it. It comes out great. Catherine, Omar, how are you enjoying your new home? I love it. I love it so much. It's so it's got a great like atmosphere. It's very airy, and there's a lot of air, a lot of light coming in, so it's really, really nice. I do have still a lot of stuff to do. Like I still am setting some stuff up and cleaning some stuff up, and I want to buy a grill, and I want to for barbecue, and I want to do the balcony, like the whole grass, and I want to put in a hydroponic garden to grow some herbs and vegetables, and I want to put an island here and have a closet. I don't have a closet at the moment. It's all drawers. So still there's a lot to do, a lot of money to spend, which I don't have, but it'll be fine. We'll make it work. And BTS are not making it any easier for me to make it work, but it's okay. So yeah, so it's really great. I really put a lot of work this week to really progress it and make it it's very nice. I really like it. Yeah, love yourself. Thank you. I love the balcony. It doesn't have a garden yet. It's still only sand. But I did talk to my uncle. My uncle has a hydroponic garden, and that's you put it on the wall, and it's basically growing vegetables in water. And I'm gonna do that because I want to put actual grass in, but I'm not gonna. Actual grass needs a lot of taking care of, and growing vegetables in the ground needs a lot of taking care of, a lot of maintaining, and I just don't have that time. I had a day on Tuesday this week. I was at work till 11:45 p.m. I just don't have that time to manage a garden properly. So a hydroponic garden is very, very easy to maintain. You just make sure that the pH level are right. You add manure, liquid manure once in a while. It's very easy. And I do plan on putting in some fake grass with actual flowers around it. So it will both be like, you could sit on it. You could have like I'm gonna have like a little table with chairs there and a lot of flowers around it. And I do plan on getting a lemon tree in like this big pot there, as well as a grill. So yeah, so it's gonna be really nice, but you know, you gotta, it takes time, it takes money. It's both things right now a bit on the low side. So, slowly we'll get there, probably by the end of summer. The grill I do plan on buying really soon because I do love to barbecue. I love having guests, and since I am doing a ketogenic diet, it's kind of my normal diet. It has been for the last since January 2017 or December 2016. So I have been doing keto for a while. Having a grill is really helpful. I don't expect it to be doing keto really this upcoming year because I'm hoping to be pregnant, and keto while being pregnant, there are a lot of there's articles for it, scientific articles for it and against it. And since there are articles against it that might show a bit of a problem doing it, I'd rather just not do it and get back to it later, even though it really works really well for me. So yeah. So grill, yeah. Love Yourself says you can get some plants, don't require much care. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm planning. Flowers, plants that are low maintenance, that will be the way to go. Maria, I'm sorry I didn't vote for Paradise. I voted for Heartbeat. I love Heartbeat so much. I don't think we're getting either Paradise, like I'll be fine if it's either Paradise Loaded Bombs or Heartbeat, but I don't think we're getting any of these. I will do a gardening live stream if I ever actually have a garden. Yeah. So yeah, so let's get going with the Hotteok. It rested for 10 minutes. We have our filling ready, and we can keep going. Hi, Sakshi. It's been ages. I'm so glad that you could join us. So yeah, so we have our dough. Like I said, it's a very, very, very sticky dough, and that's how it's supposed to be. So you didn't do anything wrong. It should be sticky. But because it's so sticky, we're gonna dust the heck out of this working space. Since the camera is here, let's see if I can adjust the camera so it'll be this way a bit. No, not this way. Yeah, I think. Sorry. Yeah, I think this will be the best way. So it's right here. I wonder if you can see it properly. Let's see. Sorry, trying to adjust it. Sorry. Yeah, like this, you can see it. Can you see it? Sorry. Let's see. I want to see how it looks for you. Really, you have a guava tree and hibiscus and papaya. I can't do those here. That'll be a bit much. I think, okay, I'll work here and we'll make it work. Okay. So first we need some flour. This is AP flour. So just regular flour. We're gonna dust it. Like I said, this is very, very sticky. So we need a lot of flour. My work computer is gonna be a mess after this. It's gonna be so funny. And now we're gonna put it on the table right here on the flour. Get it all out. Yeah, so we did that. And we're gonna flour it from above, and we're gonna flour our hands. Yes, Jorge, I know Paradise has been waiting the longest. I know. But they've been ignoring it the longest, so they're not giving it to us. Oh, I love you. So if you plant those flowers on June's birthday, that's so cute. I might do some background music because this is live. It's kind of like, I suppose I can put it on the TV as background music. That might be a good idea. I don't know. The thing is, it might get copyrighted, and a copyright doesn't bring in any revenue, but that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue that when you do a live stream and you play BTS music, they don't have a choice but to give you a strike. And I don't want to risk this channel getting a strike at this, because we're so close to comeback. It might impact revenue. I don't want to do that. So maybe next time I'll put like an I'll put like an instrumental. If we'll do this again, that might be a nice idea. But yeah. Okay, so we floured it. We floured our hands. We're just gonna knead it a bit, just a bit. And we're gonna the thing about doing this motion, I'm sure that anyone who's ever watched a dough video has seen people do this and have wondered maybe why would you do this motion? It causes the gluten chains to form around this, and it sort of orients them and creates tension among the top. So it's actually very important. Yeah. So we're gonna do this again. Make sure there's lots of flour, otherwise it's stick. So we have our fluffy little dough ball here, and this makes 4 hot dogs. So we're gonna cut it into 4s. So I know you can use a knife, you can use a bench scraper. Not a bench scraper. Like, what's it called? Like for dough, there's the dough scraper, I guess. So you can use those, but I would suggest for this, because it's not major, you can just use your fingers. Again, if you flour them properly. Also, why get something else dirty, as well as I want to, like, most people don't have dough scraper, or so it's easier to just do it like this. Everyone has fingers, right? Or sorry, it turned a bit dark. How I wish I could grow herbs at my apartment as well, but I always keep my plants. You can do actually, again, like, you can do, if you have someplace with sun, you can do a hydroponic garden inside your apartment, and it's again, you put it on the wall. If you have a balcony, it works really well. Okay, so we made our little dough balls, and now we're gonna again, like, put the smoosh side where we cut down and give it a proper stretch, and just give them the shape of a dough ball. Cute little dough ball, right? So this is 1. I hope you can see my fingers. This is 2. And we're basically tucking the bottom under it, and it creates tension on top. That's the point of this. It creates shape and it creates tension. And yeah, we got our 4 little fluffers. Okay. Paula, you killed even a succulent. that requires real effort. Congrats. Okay, so we're gonna take our fluffy little dough ball and we're gonna flip it upside down and we're gonna press. All right, we're gonna press like this. Don't worry if it gets a bit sticky. Make sure your hands are floured, okay? And we're gonna press here. And now we're gonna take our filling and just shove it inside. Okay, like this. Just press it. You put a spoonful. Let's take a bit more, a few more knots in. So you take a spoonful and you press it in. Okay? Press it inside. And now we're gonna take the corners and just stick it together. And make sure it's all covered. If it sticks to your finger, flour your fingers again. And make sure it's all closed. See? Like this. And now we have a cute little dough ball with filling. Now, we can't, because I only have one camera, I'll first do all of them and then we can fry them. But technically, immediately after making it, you can start frying. This doesn't need another rise. Okay? So I'm going to have dinner now, but I'll keep my phone as soon. Thank you. Okay, so we're taking this and we're pressing down. Okay, we're taking our filling. Oh, why is my battery running low? Hold on. This is charging, so why is the battery running low? Hold on, sorry. Okay, for some reason it's not charging. And that's odd, to say the least. Why aren't you charging? Sorry. There seems to be a problem with my cable. It's gonna shut down soon, so I hope I can save it in time. Hold on. Sorry, I know I disconnected the camera. Please don't worry. Hold on. See? Okay. Okay, so hold on. I don't know why they didn't work there. Let's try. I want to try it again, but the outlets work. I've used them before, so I do have some outlets that are dead here, but these ones should work. I think it's the charger itself. The charger sucks. Mike. Okay, whoa, my computer just. Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna do this and hope that my computer won't shut down and you can actually still, I don't know if you can actually still see this. My computer just went crazy. I might be talking to myself right now. I have no idea. Okay, let's see. Sorry. Like, am I live? Aren't I live? I don't know. I have no idea what's going on. Hi. I know it's got so confusing. My computer just completely shut down. Oh, and came back. So I don't know counts. So I'm gonna set this up again. We're gonna give it a try. I hope, I don't know what, I think it's my charger that's completely messed up and just refusing to charge. So I'm gonna set this again. Sorry for the little mix up. It was like this. Oh. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. This way you can see everything. And you, let's see if we can set you up. Sorry. Are you or aren't you charging right now? You are. Okay. Okay, we're charging. We're back in action. Let me put back the camera. We did it. Okay, it works. It's working. Sorry. Sorry for this little mess. I have no idea what happened. I don't know why my computer decided to stop charging, but now it's working. So hopefully it will stay this way. No, what happened? It's a mess. Okay, it's a whole mess. I don't know what's going on. Like my screen stopped. I don't know. Let's just continue for now and see what's going on. So we got some spilled sugar and almonds here. That's okay. I'm gonna fill this. Like I said, we're pressing this in until my computer again. I hope you can actually see this. I have no idea. It might have stopped. If it did, we'll just redo this episode. I hope you can still see it. I'll put this here. Take some clean flour here. And just do this. And we have a fluffy little dough ball filled with sugar. And again, just gonna give it a shape and close it. I'm gonna do all of them. So we're flattening these out. We're gonna put the sugar and the almonds inside. Really stuff it as much as you think it can take. Obviously, the more filling it has, the more delicious it is. I hope you guys can still see me. If not, I'm talking to myself, and that's okay. Because I can't see the chat. My computer screen was shut down. It is charging, but I don't know what's going on. So fun. Yeah, so we got another dough ball here. And last one before we start frying these. Again, I'm flattening this out. Okay. Putting in the sugar and the almonds. Squishing them in. And we're ready. We're done with that. We have 4 adorable little balls, and we can start frying them. I'm going to take the almonds out of the pan and put them all here. Create maximum mess. Yes, we are. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's fun. Oh, I can see myself. Like, I'm half sure I'm talking to myself after this. Here. Am I talking to myself? Are you guys watching? Who knows? Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of flour on my keyboard. Okay, I can see the chat again. Hi. Yeah. Hi, we're back. I finished, as you can see. And let's keep going. So now we're frying. So I'm gonna put this here so you can see the pan, right? What are you talking about? What are you all gonna watch after this? Sorry. So I'm looking, I have this massive spatula that's kind of perfect for this. And obviously I'm looking for it, and honestly now that I need it, I think that makes sense. You were always here, thank you. I wasn't, like, I couldn't see the screen was all black. Had no idea if people were watching, so I'm glad you were all here all this time. Is it here? Sorry. Obviously, I need this now, so it's not here. That's the way it works, right? I told you I'm watching how to make food, but when it comes to make it myself, oh Lord, Mildred. Let me tell you, I love making food. I cook it all the time. Doing it live here is gotta be the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done. Where is that? Sorry. Sorry. It disappeared on me. Like, it's not here. And it's not where it's supposed to be. And it's a shame because it's so perfect for this. Oh, I found it. Oh, sorry. But yeah, so I got a spatula. You can use a regular spatula, but I love this one. It's perfect for hot dog. I actually bought it to make smash burgers. So yeah. Okay. So let's do this. Okay, so we're gonna hit the pan. This is, I still haven't cooked hot dog, and this on this stove, so I'm not exactly sure. We're looking for a medium temperature. You don't want it too hot because we do want the dough to fully cook. But obviously we don't want it too cold because we do want to get a really nice sear on it. We're gonna put it with the seam side down. And that's how we're gonna fry. We're gonna let this heat up, and then we're gonna add oil. When you watch this done in markets, they put a lot of oil, a lot of oil. When you make it at home, you don't have to. So we're gonna make two versions, one with just a little bit of oil, and then the second one we'll make with a lot. Saki said, I feel a lot of stress relief when I cook. It's therapeutic. Same. Like when I get home after like this really long day, I love to cook. I have no problem like making these really hard recipes. It's very therapeutic for me as well. Yeah, so this is heating up. Yeah, it's pretty hot. We can use it. I'm gonna add just a little bit of oil. And we're going to do this one at a time. You can do it. Technically, this pan is big enough to do it two at a time. We might do that. So yeah, so we're gonna start with the first one we made. And we're gonna put it with the seam side down, okay? So we're gonna put it like this. It's a little bit cold. We're gonna put it like this, and we're gonna keep it until it gets a nice sear on the bottom. So yeah, so that's it for now. We're just gonna let it get a nice sear. I think I'm gonna make it a bit more hot. Hotteok have this really particular shape. You usually see like it has a circle inside a circle, and the reason for that is that you get it seared on the bottom, and then you flip it, and then you squish it down, and so you have this first sear which is smaller, and then once you squish it, it gets bigger, and you squish it, and you get like the outer circle. Ekang said cooking is fun, but I only do it for myself because others might not like it. I like cooking, but not baking. I like the freedom of improvisation. With baking, there's the recipe for a disaster. I feel you. I hate baking. I much prefer cooking, but I do find there's a challenge in following a recipe as well. And baking has a lot of these tiny nuances that's very interesting to learn about. And so a few years ago, I was like, okay, I don't know how to bake, like except for like a basic chocolate cake or something. And I also don't like sweets. So baking is really, or bread, really. I love the smell of bread, but I don't eat a lot of it. So just baking is not really for me, but there is a challenge in making it actually pretty, making it actually as it should be. So I did in 2017, I bought like on Singles Day at AliExpress, I bought like all these tips for like to decorate and all these things that you need for baking, a scraper like for dough and everything and thermostat and everything that you need for baking. And then every week I would choose a recipe, and I would create like cupcakes and donuts and I learned how to make bread and sourdough bread and all that, and just like to practice and learn. And so I don't do it for me. I don't really like it. I much rather cook, but there is a challenge in it that's kind of fun if that's how you take it. So I just make it and then give it away. Joy said, I love experimenting with cooking. The agent did enjoy the outcome. That's great, right? That's the most fun. People enjoy you practicing. Like I said, I love baking, but I don't have an oven yet at my apartment. Oh, you definitely need one to bake. Mildred said, "Oh, believe me, even my mom told my husband before we got together, you know, she's bad at cooking, right? He did love me that much." So he said yes. Yeah. Okay. So I think it's getting color. I think I got a bit too much color while we're talking here. That's fine. Okay. We're going to flip it again on this side. So no worries. I do think I need a tabby more oil or something here, just so it will actually be in oil. And now this part is hard, so we can press it down. Yeah, and we're gonna give it this nice color. It should be about another minute on this side. We'll flip it again to do it again on the bottom, and then it's done. Sakshi, I love baking, but I do feel you. Cooking has more freedom to it. Yes, it does, definitely. Yeah, baking is like chemistry, which is also what I'm doing at work, which is like, okay, it's fun, but I always tell my boss it's like baking and I hate baking. But yeah, it's definitely like chemistry. So you have to be very precise. Thankfully, I'm good at it. I just don't. It's not my preferred option, but I actually bake pretty well as well. So I did post a few things I baked, like sourdough bread, and I had a phase that I would do a new kind of cupcake each week, and so I would come to work with like a dozen cupcakes every day, every week, and they would all eat them because I don't eat cupcakes, but they did. So yeah, you can see this is definitely big enough. Like I can definitely make 2 here at once. So we're just gonna do this one here, and then the next time I'm gonna add 2. Yeah. Okay. I just don't like how little oil is you're getting. I think this pan is has a bit of a shape, so the oil is not actually getting into the hotteok. Well, if I put it to the side like this, next time I'm going to add a little bit more oil. We're going to do 2 at once. We're going to do it. Hi, Crystal. Good morning. I hope you all have your ad block turned off. I occasionally add an ad, so I hope you can see it. I don't know if you can. You might not. So yeah, oh, some of the sugar spilled out. Oh, that's okay. You can just go like this and collect. It can be higher. Yeah. Paula said baking, cooking is labor of time and love. If you don't like it and want to rush it, the outcome is not gonna be good. That's so true. That's 100% true. Have any of you ever been to Korea or tried hotteok, or like I don't know? Here we don't have any place that sells in the entire country, so we do have our own traditional recipe that's pretty close, but it's not the same, and no one really makes it here. So I had to fly all the way to Korea to get some. Yeah, I'm getting it. Like okay, you don't need to spin it so many times. It's just that because I am still figuring out the temperature of how to cook it. This is it. It smells really good. It smells really sweet. And like that fried dough smell. So we're gonna put it on a plate. Right here next to it. And this one's done. Yeah, see? We have our first hotteok. And it came out great. Okay, so we're gonna make sure before you put it that you remove this flour because this will burn. And you don't want the flour to burn. So we're gonna add a bit more oil here. I'm gonna add a lot more for this one because as you can see, at the bottom here, this doesn't get any oil. So make sure to remove any excess flour. We don't want it to burn, and to put it seam side down. So we're going to put one here, and we're going to put this one here, and put them. So yeah, someone asked, but it also means, I know I've failed, I've never tried it before. But if it's good, it's not a fail, right? Does that generate more income? Joy, I'm not sure what you mean. Does what generate more income? The income of the channel. The more ads you watch, the more the income is, but you have to skip after 30, 40 seconds. If you don't, then it thinks you're just, it consider it spam almost. Crystal has, we have a Korean market nearby, Age Mart. I actually bought some stuff from Age Mart and had it shipped in the US and then had it shipped here. It was a whole thing. Obviously it's on like dried stuff, but yeah. Yeah, sorry. Joey, I have the premium and just want to make sure. Yes, premium is fine. Premium counts. It's okay to watch in premium, no worries. It still helps. So let's see if these are getting color. Yes, they are, but they still need more time. You have no idea how messy it is here, but it's for the best. Hi. I'm making hotteok, and people are watching me try to make it. Yeah, so we're making hotteok. We're actually at the end almost. We already made one. We're gonna make two more. Oh, actually, we can already open this one. But I think hotteok, like pancakes, the first one, you gotta start with the second one, right? The first one is for the chef. It's not real. It's not for you. Okay, so let's see what this one's like at the bottom. A bit more. Let's see it a bit more. And this one. Oh, this one's fine. Okay, so you can see we got a nice color, and we're gonna press. Yeah, this is how it should be. So you see? I think I'm gonna put this a bit here and try. That's why it'll be. I watched the stream again with my non-premium account to increase it. Thank you so much. Thank you. We're doing it. We already passed $50, and we just started a week and a half ago for the comeback. So it's great. We're doing it. Mildred, never tried it before. I will look for a place local to try it and be able to compare. That's great. Yeah, right. That one. This one looks great. It came out awesome. Let's see. Okay, this one is a bit more color. We'll give it later. I think it's just it doesn't distribute the heat the most evenly. Or maybe, yeah, okay, let's do it like this. Yeah, this one looks really good. This one is a little bit more color on that side. Yeah, for starting you bought 3 ads. Right, that's about how much I put in. I didn't like, I've been cooking, so I didn't put a lot, and also we had some technical difficulties. So yeah. Let's see how this one is. All right, I can't wait. Let's see. Break it open together. Ah, it's so hot. Yeah. You can see the filling. I can see it's all fluffy here. Let's see how it is. Oh, this came out really good. It came out exactly as it should be. Let's see if I can. You can see the dough came out really fluffy. It's really crispy on top. The sugar is all gooey, which is exactly what it should be. And it came out great. So it rose properly. It's very airy. It's very light. It's not heavy at all. Really good. I think I'm going to just switch sides. What oil am I using? I'm using canola oil, but you can use any vegetable oil that doesn't have the strong flavor. So no sesame, no olive oil, but canola, sunflower, grape, peanut. It came out really good. Yeah, it's perfect for tea. Let's see. So again, see, really fluffy, ooey gooey sugar syrup. If you put it in the oven for a bit, the sugar really melts and it's really good. Also, the salt is really needed here because it really brings out all that sweetness, but doesn't make it overwhelming. Oh, sorry. Almost forgot to put these. So yeah, I think this side is just gets hotter than that side. Still figuring out the stove, like it's brand new, so we're figuring it out together. Okay, so we can put the last one in. Yeah, so we're doing the last one. Catherine said, just been out to buy the ingredients, so we'll try it out later and let you know how it turns out. That's excellent. I would love to know. Please comments or tag on Twitter. Yeah, please let me know how it came out. Joy said we need a Twitter hashtag to show ours when we make them. I'm open to ideas. Proof of Hotteok. Hotteok for proof. Hotteok by Army. I don't know. Planet Army Hotteoks. I don't know. We'll figure something out. Maybe Planet Army Hotteoks. Before eating, I'll share the picture. Excellent. Please share it. Proof of Hotteok. Yeah, I think let's go with proof of Hotteok. Yeah, okay, so the hashtag is proof of Hotteok. Okay, let's go with that one. And that way I'll be able to see. But don't forget to also write Planet Army. So I'll be able to find it. Hotteok for proof. Okay, so let's organize these, hide the eaten one, right? Maria said I ordered some xanthan gum in the hopes it will give keto hot dog a similar texture. I hope so. Please let me know. If it does, that's amazing. So yeah, so please let me know, because I feel your journey. I've been doing it for a while. Since I don't really crave sweets, I don't really search for substitutes for it, and almond flour is hard. It doesn't really agree with me that well, so I really avoid just making, like, I don't eat it normally anyway, so I'd rather just, if I want to have something that does have a lot of carbs, I just go for it. But yeah, so please let me know how it works. Like I said, like a proof of what we made, Hotteok, proof of Hotteok. Okay, so proof of Hotteok it is. No, Sophia, really turned out bad? Why? Why did it turn out bad? What happened? Let's troubleshoot it. Okay, I think we're done here. So we got 4 Hotteoks out of it. Oh, I'm trying to give you a picture. I'll do it like this. So we get 4 Hotteoks. They came out pretty great. They're all fluffy. And I'm gonna give these to my neighbor, minus the one that I took a bite from. So yeah, please, that is Stefania, let me know, let us know why, and we'll figure it out. But I think with recipes like these, the more you make it, the easier it will be. You'll learn how to fill the dough. But yeah, so we did it. We did a Hotteok together. It was supposed to take an hour. It took 2, but that's okay. We had a lot of troubleshooting in the middle. Oh, you made the balls too big. Yeah, that's it does take some. My mom complains that these are too big. She wants me to make small ones, and I think I will attempt to make them small at some point, so you can just like snack on it a bit more. Because these are really sweet, so to have one by yourself is a lot. So yeah, it takes a little bit to get to know the dough, how to make it this size. Thank you. Yeah, they came out great. They came out exactly as they should. All fluffy and sweet and good. And but they still taste good, don't they, Stefania? Even if they're shapeless and giant. That's the most important part. Shape, it's okay, but as long as they taste well. If the dough isn't completely cooked because they're so big, just stick it in the oven at like 100 degrees centigrade, and it should be fine. Also, if the sugar is not completely dissolved, the same. Sometimes it's granulated, especially if you use brown sugar, which is coarser. So sometimes it's still too granulated, and you don't get that oozing effect. So just put it in the oven for a bit. Agape Will said, "Oh, I missed the beginning. I was applying for Bangtan Academy." Oh, congratulations! Good luck. Can you reheat it if not at all evening? Yes, definitely. First, you can freeze these. They freeze great after they're made, like you made it now. Just freeze them. And then you can just heat it up either in the microwave or the oven. I suggest the oven. It heats up better. Definitely. If you don't eat everything, you can put it in the refrigerator or freeze it for a later time. Definitely. And if you double this recipe, you get 8. So yeah, it's really easy. They look good. Thank you. You think will it work if I put them in the air fryer? I do think it will work. Just add a little bit of oil or like spray oil. But yeah, I think it can work in the air fryer. Give it a try. This doesn't have a lot of oil. I put a lot of oil because my pan apparently has a bit of a like a cone shape, like the top is a bit, the middle is a bit higher up. So the oil goes down and then it didn't touch the hot dog. But technically you can do it with very little oil. So definitely think it might work with air fryer. Yeah, Stefan, great. Put it in the air fryer if it's not completely cooked. Okay, I think we're kind of done. This was fun. For first time doing this, I think it came out pretty good. And next time it will be a regular podcast, and I'll do a Curious About Our Army. I'll post a Zoom link, and we can all chat. I really want to do a Baby Army podcast where Baby Army can come in and talk about how they became Army and ask questions. So that will be fun, I think. And yeah, I think it'll be lots of fun. But we have a lot of really nice stuff coming. I do hope I'm gonna set up a computer that will be a podcast computer, so I won't have to use my work one. And it's gonna be set up better. It's also gonna have better programming. Then I won't have to use Zoom to do it, and the quality of the video will be better. So, so yeah. So we're gonna do it. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you had fun. I hope those who didn't have ingredients will buy some and try this. And thank you all for joining. And Maria, thank you so much. Yeah, putting a little flour in the counter, that's a major key here. Okay, so we're gonna end this here. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Bye.